Well, that's good, Jay. I'm glad you can handle 5 seconds. Everything should be back up. Hopefully everything is back up now. I do see that my little preview window just came back up. Excellent. All right. So by default, OBS puts you on the Chicago server. But I mean, it's just like dropping like crazy. So I moved it over to New York. We'll see if that makes anything better. But if you start seeing frames dropping like crazy, please let me know immediately. So that way I can, you know, make any changes if need be or something. Okay, you're kind of a waste of time. I guess I have to kill you, okay? Or not. This is a game called Gargoyles, which was based on a Disney afternoon show here in the United States and Canada. I don't know if it had aired any other place in Europe. But it's a very, very late Sega Genesis game. I think it came out in 1996? Okay, so how do I get down? No, that was actually... That was a different one, I'm betting. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like Gargoyles Quest, something like along that lines. That was actually Firebrand. It's actually completely different. Yep. So I have no idea where to go. It's like, okay, I've reached the end here. You can see there's treasure. Bust through a wall. Okay, cool. So that suddenly works. So if I come across something like that, I have to like I have to jump in C button? That'll pounce, apparently. Okay, am I past the first level? No, I'm past the first segment. Yeah, I'm surprised that like people were able to like figure out speedrun routes for this. Okay, how about if I go up here? Like a lot of the speedrun I've seen of this game is like mostly just damage boosting like crazy. Well, actually it's like about 2 years ago there was not a speedrun of this game. And there was actually a person in Yellow Killer Bee's Discord. He was like, hey, how do I get started on a speedrun? Because I want to do a speedrun of Gargoyles. And we're like, well, you know, you can request to have the page created by the admin. Forgot his name, but I actually have it linked up. You know, and they'll see about adding it in. So he completed a speedrun. Like, took him about 2 weeks or so to kind of get some initial routing done. And yeah, I did like the first speedruns of the game, and it was pretty cool to see. And then it really ticked me off because I saw him just basically get screwed over by the speedrunning community. Because they literally went out of their way to say, oh no, you know, like I'm the person who did all these runs and you know, and came up with all these strategies. It's like, no, you didn't. This game's a little wonky for control. Okay, so it alternates back and forth. Okay, or not. Stop it. Like I said, it's like, it just really, it bugged me a lot. It's like, I had somebody try to do like the same thing, like it wasn't intentionally, but it was like when a lot of new people started showing up for Bayonetta 2, and they start like crediting like other people, like, oh hey, so-and-so found this route. I'm like, no, that's my route. I did that a long time ago, buddy. You better rethink what you're saying real quick, like. It's like, you better give credit where credit is due. Okay, guess I can crawl on the ceilings. Yes. Hey, Ronnie. Welcome back. So basically, this is like me murdering people a long time ago because the show takes place in like New York City, like modern times, as in like early 90s was modern. So I don't remember the main character of the show just going around murdering tons of people in a castle somewhere. I could be mistaken. Yes, never speedrun, or if you do, be willing to fight for what's yours. I mean, that's the big thing overall. And so the guy who went through and actually created all the strats and did the initial first runs and got the page created and everything else, or he just didn't care. He's like, well, I don't want to create a problem. I'm like, dude, speak up for yourself. It's like, do not let others walk on you like this, because it's like stealing stuff, basically, at that point. Okay, I am, so we've already hit a glitch. Okay, cool, it finally let me out. I guess the game might have some kind of auto-correction. It was like, oh, I'm just gonna keep staying stuck there. Oh, you can grab onto it. Okay. Yeah, almost got soft locked. It was crazy. It's like, oh wow, that's impressive. I already got soft locked and glitched the game. Yeah, this game wants to stick you on the corners worse than the Messenger did. Everyone talks like about the Messenger like so great. I'm like, did we play the same version of the game? Because not too great. My problem with the messenger is like it keeps sticking onto the walls, and like a lot of the A does the same thing. Like, okay, you're gonna acknowledge, then jump off the wall, and it's just like, oh, you're trying to obviously make this very calculated, well-placed jump, and we're going to have you stick to the wall suddenly or grab onto spikes, and like damage is like wildly inconsistent on the messenger. You'll hit spikes and either you can hit them a couple times, you'll be fine, or you'll hit them the same exact ones and you will die in one hit. There's no rhyme or reason why it is. Probably. I mean, there was like Conan O'Brien's skit where they had like a drunk Kermit. He was doing the same thing, just like walk on stage and just projectile vomiting everywhere. I have no idea what these chalices do at all. Oh good, wall spikes, something that can kill me. I have no idea how I managed to do that right now. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I have like a 5 in Roman numerals. And that just straight up killed me real quick. Okay, that was the thing that happened. So now I'm fighting against Thor. I don't remember this in the show at all. I mean, I didn't see all the episodes, but I'm pretty sure this might not have been in on it. Yeah, that's the thing, it was 3, now it's 3. Don't tell me this is the pattern. It's the pattern. Look at how much damage I'm doing on the bottom. Good God, like on the bottom right. You don't control the best either. So most of the time you're just fighting the animations versus anything in that boss fight. And apparently they were angry at him with losing. Okay, the Viking army invaded the Rookery. And, yeah, that's good enough time for you to read it. Okay. Splat! Oh, right into 2 enemies on either side. Perfect. Oh, obviously. Yes, that must be it entirely. How could I have forgotten such a classic episode of that? Okay, so I think this guy may have glitched into the ground. He seems to not be having a good day here. Sir? Sir? Are you okay? Like, twitch once for yes. Keep twitching forever for no. Put out those flames. Alright then. So already this is like the most stable game I've ever seen. I'm impressed. I mean, it is making Sonic 06 look like nothing. I mean... No, it's not that unstable. It's actually pretty stable except for the time I almost softlock it in the first level and... Alright, let's just see what the game over screen looks like. Oh, thank God we're done. Oh, this is a game that has 0 lives. Oh, it does. Pretty much. This game also has like 0 iframes. It's really weird. Continue. No! Goliath is lost. Lost what? We don't know. Alright, so let's look up something here. Gargoyles for Sega Genesis. How much does this game sell for? So loose copy, anywhere between 25 to 30 bucks. Complete in box, 40 to 60. See people like selling like a hard case, but I know this was not a hard case game. It was one of the Sega Genesis, pardon me, right before the end. Started doing like paper boxes. All right. Gargoyles done. Not coming back to. Let's say if you ever see the speedrun of this game, it's just nothing but straight off like damage boosting like crazy. It's like you almost don't do any fights, and now I understand why, because it just takes forever to kill somebody. Holy cow. Alright, so let's figure out another game here I can do. Since I'm playing bad games, kind of unintentionally, sorta. Let's play one of the worst games that I own physically, really do own. Yeah, I'm gonna regret this very quickly. So I will say that this song does have one hell of a catchy theme song, as did most of these songs in the, in the Disney Afternoon block. But oh man, this game is... Ugh. There's no other way to describe it other than ugh. This is 1992, okay? And it has like music that's on par with like Fantasia. I wonder if they actually have Fantasia's programmers working on the music for this game. Yeah, Tailspin as a kid, a lot of fun. It's great. It was a fun show. Don Carnage was my absolute favorite character. I even had his action figure. And then this game came along. And I lost faith in humanity. Alright, jump. Weapon, drop. That will do. So I think I got this game as part of a lot, like... as well as eBay lots, like, okay, bid for it and you get, like, all the games in the box type deal. I'm pretty sure that this was one of those games in there. Beavis and Butthead on Genesis. Wow, that's hardcore, Ronnie. Yes, and Gadget-wise waifu, even though she was pretty much like oblivious to everything going on. Going to be a flying contest. It's more than a contest. Company that wins receives a lifetime work contract from the city. All we have to do is win. All we have to win is collect 10 cargo boxes, each from different places around the world. Okay, it just mirrors that sentence really weirdly structured. Piece of cake. The only problem is our competition. Meanwhile, because it's all capitals, Shere Khan. Another city contract. Quite interesting. This calls for a visit to the city official's office. Sometime later. City official. Oh, it's an ass. Sweet. It's my favorite. It's my great pleasure to announce the 2 finalists for the city contract. So you're complaining before about this repetitive music? This is like a 3-second loop. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's changed up. Alright, enough of this. Good lord. It's like, I thought this would be over real soon. Like, hey, cool, we need to go here and do this objective. No, it just goes on and on. Okay, so apparently I ate the cargo. Very good. And floating ice cream. It might be a time bomb, I'm not sure. Ah, wow, this is like almost seizure-inducing. And I'm getting eaten to death by a crab. Yeah, it's like, when do I get to fly an airplane? So why didn't you, like, kick Cloud Kicker? I mean, other than it's, like, an entirely stupid name and, like, physics do not support the way that he would be dragged behind an airplane. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do, like, sky surfing behind the airplane. It's like, kid, you'd be, like, dragged along. Like, you wouldn't be surfing. You'd be holding on to dear life and spinning in circles. Of course, you know, it really sucks growing up with an high IQ. It's like, you just... everything is ruined for you, pretty much. Floating cheeseburger! Thank you. Yes, it builds character, the ones that survive, at least. And, like, why a paddle ball for, like, a gun? You know, like, as a weapon? Like, why not an actual gun? Something that you could really be useful fighting against pirates that you know will be coming after you. Okay, I have no control over this right now. Okay. Different when you play as a kid. When you play it was like a shmup. It might have been TOS, it might have been a TurboGrafx 16 version. So I think there was a TurboGrafx 16, or as it was called in Japan, possibly your PC Engine. So spy girl with a lipstick later in the mirrors. Don't remember that part. Baloo's got crabs in the worst place there, apparently. I mean, this is a kid's show. Come on, Genesis. So this is the exit of the level, apparently. Why is everything trying to kill me? Okay, so I still have the same amount of cargo boxes, but I'm at the very beginning of the level. Do you see the problem here? Say I read here, so quite a bit newer. There's a troll physics gif of it where the guy spy aligns two pocket mirrors face each other, shoelaces between them for a lipstick, which bounces back and forth on angles both mirrors wants to melt. Baloo's got crabs, which is out of context would sound terrible. Even in context, I gotta admit, it still sounds terrible. It's like, hey Becky, help me find the comb to remove these crabs. You'll help me, right, Kit? Well, true. I mean, but I always thought it always kind of was Australia anyway, because I mean, just from locale and everything that goes on, because everything will try to kill him in the show regardless. Okay, so, pirate man with a magnet. Homeless man. And falling into a crack will throw you face first into the screen. Okay, yeah, that happened. By the way, as you can tell, he does like almost no damage, so there's like no real incentive so far to dodge him. And then here we are in this level, okay. I don't know. I mean, maybe... I'm trying to think it would be worse than a paddle ball. I really can't think of much of anything right now at this point what it would be. Yes, well, I mean, you absorb the crates by sitting on them, and apparently... it does nothing against Kung Fu... whatever these things are, jaguars? And we got, like, the super bidet right here. Because apparently Baloo also doubles as a Charmin bear. Busy talking about pooping indoors. How can I fix my hemorrhoids? Well, one, you probably should stop eating Taco Bell. I mean, that's step number one. That should be in any type of hemorrhoid self-care product book. Right instantly there, stop eating Taco Bell. Possibly Chipotle, depending on where you are in the world. Two, more fiber, because apparently you're trying to Dukes of Hazzard it out, which can also lead to like a hernia. You might want to be careful about that too. You know, just if your whole bathroom routine involves you having one leg in the air, shaking violently, trying to get it out as fast as you can, probably not the best for your butt. You might want to take it a little easier there. Continue. No, thank you. This game's like, are you sure? It's like, we're not going to speed up the countdown. We're going to make sure it goes really slow and keep playing the same terrible music over and over and over again. Alright, finally. Too bad, not enough cargo. Shere Khan wins the contract. You know, Hire for Hire seems like some kind of medical marijuana company you'd hire for you. We'll get you hire. We'll hire you for hire. You know, like you work for them and handing out pot. That's what it sounds like to me, at least. Which is very, very progressive of Sega at the time, I must say. Alright, so let's jump back over to RetroArch. It turns out like most of the games I'm playing are just like terrible games. It's like, that wasn't really my intention tonight. It was just basically like, okay, let's play games that are like based on TV shows, things like that here. And like every single one of these games I'm playing so far like are just god awful. Yeah, that would seem really bizarre, especially if they didn't have like a subtitle below to tell you what it is. Like, okay, what is this thing I'm looking at right now? Okay, RetroArch. So they just instantly said what it was. Well, that would be helpful, because I mean, if they never said what the name of their business was, that would be very, very confusing. Pardon me. Okay, so it looks like I am very steady with frames right now, so apparently it's just the Chicago server that sucks. So I'm going to kick up the bitrate a little higher back to where I normally stream. Now, when they said hire for hire, did they say it in English, or was it in German? Because it sounds like it sounds like, you know, because you're saying it didn't mean something, it sounds like they were saying it in English instead. Huh. Alright, we gotta play a good game, dang it. I wasn't planning on playing this, but you know, we gotta play something good. I think Nestopia's pretty good. I think I can put this on like RGB to make it look even better. This game is always loud as hell. Ooh, Chip or Dale? You know, I'm gonna go with Dale. I feel like Dale doesn't give enough love. Our cute little neighbor, Mandy. Is Chris Hansen gonna come busting out around the corner here about Chip, about their cute little neighbor? She lost her kitten. This is a job for the Rescue Rangers. Go on ahead, Chip, and scatter some things of mine that might help. Or I could just, you know, stay here with you and actually help out. But no, it'll be fine. I'll just randomly throw crap throughout a level, you know, where you might be going. I don't even know if you're going that right direction. Good idea. No, that's a terrible idea. Chip and Chap in German. That's interesting. Does Dale mean anything in German that I'm not aware of? Because, I mean, usually, like, when a show would be retitled something is because it would be, like, a native language issue? No, interesting. Okay. Alright, enough. Oh, the hitbox. Holy cow. That is huge. Chap means pal in English. Kinda, yeah, depending if you're British English, yes. American, not really. We don't really use that phrase. But of course, there's like British and then like American dialects, so to speak. By the way, when I said I'd play this game, I didn't say I was good at it. Oh yes, I understand the phrase, yes. Okay, so that stuns me just to throw it. Yeah. See, it's like I should be pointing out here, it should be obvious that Jay's first language is German. Get away from me, Doge. Come on, Zipper. There's like so many boxes in this game, and like you can't... Thank you, 360 D-pad. There's like so many boxes in this game, and it's like a lot of them just have nothing. I have no idea what these flower things do either. I'm guessing maybe collect 100 of them and you get like 100... You get like an extra life, maybe? I really don't know. There's no counter to screen to like indicate otherwise. Now, I had a friend who had a Tandy computer, which is like very unusual computer to have, but he had Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers on his computer. I'm like, cool, I love that game for the Nintendo. I'm garbage at it, let's play it. The Tandy version of that game is nothing like this at all. In fact, it's actually kind of closer to Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2 than anything else. So it's kind of like based, I guess, on an onomatopoeia, where basically a fancy word for like the sound, if it's the right word I'm thinking of, like the sound that the object makes. Yeah, it's so weird that throwing this thing hurts you. What if I jump? No. Okay, jumping and throwing does not hurt. Okay. Pretty much. It was not that good. Just like I am not that good at this game. I don't know, they're all over the place, and there's like exposed like electrical wiring. I mean, this is like a major disaster waiting to happen in the city, and nobody seems to be concerned about it. I mean, how this place has not caught fire yet, I do not know. It starts you way back at the beginning. Oh god, there's like no level checkpoints. Yeah, I think the electricity not adhering to the physics is like the least of things. I mean, there's small, tiny robotic dogs running around on power lines. If you're seeing small robotic dogs on power lines where you live, you're probably really drunk. I mean, it is St. Patrick's Day today, so that could be forgiven. But if you see it any other time of the day, you might want to probably get your medication adjusted. There you go. That's the spirit. It's like one of the YouTube channels I watch is called You Suck at Cooking. His recipe today was like how to make green beer. He's like, tells this like really crazy story about St. Patrick's Day, which of course is not anywhere near accurate. He's like, just add food coloring to your beer. Done. Aha! Progress! I have to say, so far, this very casual world record speedrun is going great. So then we add the food coloring to beer. Yeah, that would make it a little green. It also probably tastes a little weird. Allegedly, I've heard. Okay, yeah, that was awesome. Alright. Yeah, okay, this is cut off from RetroArch too. Okay, neat. And there we go. Alright, you know what we have to do. If you play DuckTales, you have to go to the moon. There is no other level you are allowed to play first. You have to go to the moon. Let me check something real quick. Palette, 8 sprite per line, hardware, overclock. Okay. For me. That guy's dedicated. Okay then. And okay, now I can control my character. It's like, I guess the emulator is wigging out. Can't get those boxes. I don't have the skill. Yeah, should also mention, like, I don't play this game at all. It should be quite apparent, really. Aha! Now, I do have the remake for this on PlayStation 3, and it is, like, a completely different game. Like, oh, we remastered it. It's like, it's very, very different. Can I bounce on spikes? The answer is yes. Freeze, old man! He's got a gun! Pow, 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 pow. Do not oppose, you great warrior. These are the caves Daniel spoke of. Your supplies are here. Collect them and go to Nagata. It's east of here. By the way, I speak perfect English suddenly. Okay, great. I'm glad you speak English. The international language. It's like Star Trek. Everybody speaks English. Don't tell me it's a universal translator. Everybody speaks English. Even brand new like societies and aliens they've never met before. There's no way they can translate it. Everyone speaks English. Yeah, that too. Hope you find it. I'll help you find that thing that will totally wipe out my homeland. Not a problem, right? I think you can find like a bigger clip like to the right that actually gives you either faster firing ability or stronger. I really can't remember. So basically kind of like a babblefish from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, pretty much. Parasite lives in your ear, translates everything, feeds off your brainwaves. Here we go. Okay, so it seems to be about the same speed. I think it just might be more power. Yeah, it's stronger power. Mothra! I don't care if you are a friend to children. Oh, last night I was watching, what was it, Sentai, yeah. Sentai Zuranger, which is like what they based Power Rangers off of in the United States. And, wow, like, the original version of that show was dark as hell. It's like, I mean, it's like, when they brought it out to the States, it was like, okay, you know, we're just going to have, like, we're just going to create our own plot lines, and we're just going to have, suddenly, everyone's transported to Japanese, like, locations out of nowhere. Yeah, they pretty much invented, like, their own storylines for things, but it's like, the original storyline for what they used the basis of that episode of the show, because there's been multiple Sentai shows, like, basically, like, shows. I think the next one I thought was, like, Car Ranger, which is, like, Car Ranger. It's two words smashed together. I don't know where I'm supposed to go now, but it's like apparently like there's like dinosaurs are thought to be extinct except for this one giant robot has 5 eggs, which is what keeps the robots alive, and they're trying to, and like if the eggs die then dinosaurs will be truly extinct and then Satan will come and kill everybody on the planet. It's like, okay, wow, this is getting pretty crazy. And then you find out like the main bad guy, like the I forgot what her name was, like Bidu or something like that, like the evil witch who lives on the moon. That like the reason why she hates the Earth so much is trying to kill everybody is because her kid back in the day was killed by a dinosaur, so she sells her soul to the devil in order to get revenge against mankind. It's like, whoa, this is like. And, like, seriously, like, and the show ends with, like, Satan coming back to life and, like, destroying the city and killing all the dinosaurs. It's like, whoa, this is super dark. Like, the American version, like, let's make it into, like, a happier show, because this is pretty out there. And the crazy thing is, like, everybody knows, like, who they are. Like, everyone knows, like, oh, yeah, you guys are the ones who keep destroying the town with robot fights every single week. And why we haven't moved out of this town when you keep destroying it constantly, I don't know. Pretty much. And then, like, after the series note that they had Cardanger, which is the next version of the Sentai show, and that was, like, all, like, about humor and comedy. It was like, they decided, okay, we better take the show into, like, a lighter direction, because we've gotten way too serious and hardcore. Even they realized, like, okay, we better lighten the mood here. Hop, 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 hop. It's like the end of Blues Brothers. You're like, hop, 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 hop. Hop, that's ready to go. To the cave sphincter. I mean, exit. Mysterious city, Nagama, where the race transported from ancient Egypt to work as slaves live in constant fear of their supernatural ruler, Ra. Also a really great rock band. The green thing in the top left is a temporary display, shows you what you just picked up. Yes, that's what it appears to be. Can I kill you? No, he is impervious. It is true, you tried to kill me. The great warrior comes to lead us against Ra. If helping my people, if helping you people gets my men back alive, then I'll do it, and I'm gonna blow you up with the nuclear weapon anyway. By the way, you're gonna find out real bad fast, real what that is. Duck and cover will not save you. It will not work. Help you if you can find our 4 elders in Nagata. They are lost to us after our battles with Ra's worst guards. What's in it for me? One of our elders can open Nagata's east gate for you. Your warriors left that way. Well, how about you open it now? I have a gun. I will shoot you in the face. Duck and cover is absolutely hilarious. The idea that, like, anybody would be able to survive a nuclear blast in range is like, because instantly, like, it's like, you know, America having used nukes twice on people, it's like, we know instantly, like, if you're in the burn range, you are on fire and very bad pain. You don't have time to duck and cover, and you're usually on fire at that point. Most of your skin's gone if you're lucky. This is basically all it was like, okay, we just need a way to, like, keep civilian populace calm, give them some kind of hope that, yes, we can win a war. Yes, you can survive a nuclear war. I mean, that was, like, even for, like, the American strategy for the longest time, was like, oh yeah, it's like, we can win a nuclear war. Like, they had generals honestly believed it. This is back before you had, like, ICBMs and stuff. Okay, so are you not going to talk to me here? I mean, it's like, before ICBMs came into play, the whole thing was like, you had to fly a bomber to actually bomb a place. Then all of a sudden, you could hit anywhere on the planet in 15 minutes. It's like, ooh, okay, game's changed. But one of the ones I always loved about, like, nuclear testing was a place called, they called it Survivor Town. And what it was like, okay, we're going to set up, and they made this huge press event. Okay, so we're going to set it up so, like, we'll have mannequins and dummies, and we'll show everybody that, yes, you can survive a nuclear blast. It's not that bad. And, like, all the dummies were destroyed, on fire, and melted. It did not go well. So what they actually did, like, after it went off and the bombs went off, and they had cameras inside the building, so you can see, like, the dummies they had as human analog stand-ins just get totally wrecked. they went back in and started placing like complete dummies among the wreckage, like, oh, see, you can just push the part of your roof off you and you'll be fine. It's like, no, you're gonna die. Yeah, it's really insane what they used to do. Idiots online. YouTube. Actually, you know, the manga wasn't completed by the time the movie was done. It's like, shut up. Let's see here. Survivor Town. I'll have to check that out a little bit later. Oh yeah, exactly. It's like, that's the whole thing, is like, nuclear weapons is like, there's not really survivability for it. And like, even like, you know, like, okay, you survived the initial like blast, you still have to deal with fallout, or if you got hit with the gamma rays, which go ridiculously long ways, then you're probably in a twilight area where you're going to die very quickly, like, not immediately, but eventually. It's like, just give it a couple hours and then you're... Yeah, exactly, the walking ghost phase. Oh. Man, I don't remember this game being this repetitive. It can last... I remember it lasting, like, from what I've read, not too long. It's usually like a day or two. Sometimes it can take up to a week, depending upon initial exposure. The people at Nagasaki and Hiroshima found out that way. They're like, okay, because it was about a week after some people started getting really sick. There was a guy, I'm trying to remember his name. He's actually a Japanese animator, and he actually animated... He lived through Hiroshima, and he later on did a movie about his experiences with it, and I think it was called Gentle Ben, if I remember correctly. And he didn't get sick for about 1 to 2 weeks after the blast. Actually, it was about a week after, then he started getting sick. All his hair fell out and everything else. Yes, weapons of partial destruction. But of course, the thing is also, like, as soon as we started developing, like, hydrogen bombs, and everything just got ramped up like nobody's business. I mean, when they first tested the first hydrogen bomb, they thought, like, they did the math, they're like, well, we should be fine here, we should be safe. You know, at this blast distance, they didn't understand, like, how much more it was going to be amped up from adding hydrogen to the explosion. And they almost blew themselves off the island. They actually got severely irradiated from it. But, yeah, they literally almost blew themselves off the Earth testing the bomb, because they're like, ah, we're safe here, like, 4 miles away. It's like, oops, no you're not. Hey, okay, Chief, now what? Well done, oh great warrior. Now you will lead us in our struggle for freedom. Not so fast, pal. I'm not William Wallace. The revolution is going to have to wait until I find my men. I'll be back when I know they're safe. And then it's more running around the desert. You kind of get the idea. Later on, because it's a Super Nintendo game, you have Mode 7 parts where you actually fly around in like an alien ship and start shooting things down. It's not too bad. O'Neill, we thought you were dead. What do you mean you thought I was dead? You saw me like 20 minutes ago. Sure feels like it. Wouldn't believe the day I'm having. Pardon me, it's about to get worse. The Kowalski is dead. Marines are scattered in the caves. They need the boxes you found. Piece of cake. Wait, there's more! Rosmenda pieces the bomb you brought along. If Ra discovers what it is, I'm on my way. You know, if you're capable of like intergalactic space travel, and also like wormholes, which is what the Stargate is, I'm pretty sure you already know about nuclear weapons or how to how to make it into a weapon very easily. I'm pretty sure you don't need our pathetic little thing. They probably have something like way worse that they've invented like thousands of years ago. Actually, the one thing I thoroughly enjoyed, and it was cool to see, but it's like the reality of it is far, far worse, was it The Last Jedi, the last Star Wars movie that came out? When Admiral Holdo did light speed into those guys, and basically, like, you know, like, wiped out their fleet. Which one, why didn't they have a droid do it? Because the droids don't care. 2, if she had actually jumped to light speed and like rammed mass like that, it actually would have wiped everybody out. The people trying to escape, the entire fleet, and also the planet they're trying to get on because of the energy transfer and everything, physics going that fast. And it would have just happened like that, snap of the finger, it would just like blink out from existence. Although they went with the Hollywood a lot cooler route, I don't blame them for that. Yeah, it's, like I said, obligatory Mode 7 level. It's a Super Nintendo game. You have to have Mode 7 in some way. Either be it a level or an effect like a map. Something like that, at least. Rapid fire! Oh yeah! Daniel said you were dead. He shot me and left me here, that asshole. Kill him. Daniel should stick to archaeology, not medicine. Where are the other guys? Up ahead on point. Can you find them? They need supplies. Also, Daniel's lost. Again, wait. How do you know he's lost? You're in a cave. He thought you were dead. How do you know he's lost? Have no fears. Haven't you heard? I'm the great warrior now. Yeah, that's great. He's missing. Go find him. Stop being an idiot. I mean, everybody knows the nuke goes near you. First thing you thumb test your thumb. I'll learn the mushroom. You'll be fine. Take cover in the fridge. Only if it's a lead-lined fridge and you're named as Indiana Jones and nothing kills you. Because I'm pretty sure that whole thing that threw him, you know, the whole explosion, wiping him out. By the way, the whole thing where he's like in that fridge, that was basically a take on Survivor Town is what it was. Alright, so let's check something real quick. Smithsonian. Okay, let's check out this video real quick, then I'll pick a different game. So, everybody, hang tight here for a second. We're going to watch a little video on Survivor Town. So everybody's lurking, kind of go like, what the hell are you doing if you're playing a YouTube video and it's supposed to be this? I don't get it. Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird. It's what I do. I have like ADD. So, let's bring up the old desktop. Hopefully this is all good. Turn up the audio all the way. I have no idea if it's going to be way too loud or not.
This house was 6,000 feet from ground zero.
It seems like it might be too loud.
Other homes that were closer.
So unfortunately, I do not have the ability to see chat right now, so good luck, everybody.
This house was 6,000 feet from ground zero. Other homes that were closer were incinerated.
You see all that smoke? That's instantly
Everybody has seen that very famous footage of the houses just imploding and then exploding out. What happens first is that it gets hit by the heat, and so it blistered almost all of the paint. When you look on the back side of the house, you can still see some remnants of the paint. It ripped all the gutters off of the house. The chimney here was shifted about 6 inches. The blinds that were on the windows were all blown out. But otherwise, this house withstood the blast pressures and the heat from the nuclear test.
everybody's on fire and dead.
The
but
Apple
the house
II
survived.
bomb was placed in a tower 1,500 feet above the ground, so the resulting fireball wouldn't destroy monitoring equipment. Technicians built small towns within the blast zone. Shops, gas stations, dozens of homes made of brick and wood. They called the small cities Doom Towns.
Here, just before dawn, for the first time in our history, American homes will be exposed to atomic blast. Today, Main Street of every American city and town.
We had all kinds of houses built, grocery stores, we had the electrical systems.
Single-story homes, two-story homes, wooden, brick, block, and so on. Different distances from the ground zero to see what the effects would be from the blast and the heat.
Inside the buildings, workers positioned entire families of mannequins who silently waited for the explosions to come.
Let's see what would happen to a normal, average family.
We had mannequins with all different types of clothing on, wool, cotton, rayon, nylon. The mannequins had a house at roughly 5,000 feet away. I had them sitting at the kitchen table, and we had a lean-to in the basement.
The mannequins became some of the most famous participants of the tests.
Those mannequins that had radiation content, they never got them back, but the rest of them that didn't, they took them back. What they did with them, I don't know.
Scenes typical of the American family at home. First floor living room. Children at play, unaware of approaching disaster.
Yeah, you can see there briefly for like a split second. Like that one just totally getting shredded. Like this one right here. You see like kablam, just obliterated in the pieces at this point right here briefly. But there is a YouTube, it's not a YouTube documentary. It's actually a real documentary called Trinity and Beyond, I believe it is. And that one basically it talks about the whole history of like nuclear weapons and how everything progressed, and they also showed like Survivor Town and went through and showed actually the dummies that they placed back in there because they had like TV crews there, because like they actually had the whole segment on the Trinity and Beyond documentary, which is narrated by William Shatner. It's like the bomb went off, but yeah, so it's like they would have this whole thing. It was televised live on air. They had them like down the trenches, reporters like, okay, and you see blast wind blowing above the guy's head. Total insanity. But then they start showing pictures inside, like, oh, here's this fully complete mannequin. But you can see from there, like briefly, just everything got blown to hell and back. So yeah, that's just totally nuts. Q. Sarah Connor's nightmare from Terminator 2. Just about, well, Dong Dong Never Dying. Hey, they had it in there. Alright, let's pick one last game to stream for tonight. Let's see. Pretty much hit all the big ones. Did Darkwing, let's see, Chip and Dale, we did Stargate, Pirates of Darkwater, Gargoyles. Let's do something good. There is a terrible version of this game. Actually, let's do two bad ones real fast. Let's see if my memory holds up. Let's see, where are you? Here we go. Okay, so there was a Tailspin for the TurboGrafx 16. I think this is one that's a shooter. Let me turn it down because this is probably going to be ridiculously loud. Okay, select a piece of map you want to find. I'll tell you what I know. Heard we somewhere Watusi Valley River, Aerodome, Ice Caves. Let's try this one. Okay, Blue, bring back 10 Watusi feathers for 10,000 points. Okay, it's not a shooter. I guess not this level, at least. Oh yes, this version of the game. Oh boy. Jumping, by the way, I've actually played this on a real TurboGrafx 16. Jumping will sometimes not register your input. And unfortunately, emulator replicates that exactly. That was a real problem in the actual system. $500, whatever 500 is, I got it. Game over. Should I continue? Hell no. Alright. So like I said, as we know... Okay, so Tailspin does exist on it here. There is also a really terrible version of Darkwing Duck on this system. The version you really do not want to play if you ever have the misfortune of doing it, or decide to fire up your own emulator and try it. And trust me, you want to put it on easy. Normal and easy are still not easy. Alright, got the story perfect. Good. So, you basically go around with a big giant magnifying glass, and you have to pick your enemies this way. So we're going to go with a DOS prompt, because this is before Windows became more common. Well, there was Windows 3.1, but this is before 1995, so Windows hadn't really taken off. Tuscanini. Jumping is delayed, hitboxes are very random, and the music is god-awful. Looks like I'm in a skate or die level. Yeah, what's dangerous is actually playing this game. By the way, as a duck, you eat eggs to get your life back. I just wanted to point out how bizarre that is. I mean, you had a Donald Duck eating turkeys or chicken in Quackshot to get his life back. Darkwing Duck eats unborn children. And I'm the good guy? How is everybody liking the music so far? Now remember, the villain went rolling down the hill, but somehow he's back here already. Okay, apparently it doesn't kill him. Good to know. Alright. Pause just pauses the game. No select for your weapons. Now, keep in mind that the TurboGrafx 16 only had Like 2 buttons, really. So it's like Nintendo, basically. By the way, your actions are like severely delayed. It's like, oh, you should like jump and get out of the way. It's like, trust me, it's pretty hard to do. And I'm out of ammunition, by the way, I should point out. Will the boss will this give me any more? Nope. You have to die. So now I'm in a boss fight with no ammunition whatsoever. Do you see the problem with this game already? Yes, extremely. So this game is known as being a bad game, not only just because it's got, like I said, it's got very slippery controls, the jumping animation does have lag to it. It's got a lot of recovery on everything, and like literally you'll be in the boss fight here, run out of ammunition, and there's nothing you can do. You just have to keep dying over and over and over and over and over again. It's terrible. There is a better Darkwing Duck game, and it is over on the Nintendo. This is much better. This is the game that when people say Darkwing Duck, you usually think of. Unless you're a sick jerk like me and think of the TurboGrafx 16 version because I play bad games. It just loops over and over. Okay, options. RGB, good. Okay. Zoom. Once again, we need your help, Darkwing. Oh man, that is grating on the eardrums. Mysterious crime wave has swept over the city. We believe these crimes are the work of the secret criminal organization Foul. You must put an end to their fiendish plans. Launchpad will brief you with the details of your missions. We're going to collect all the stolen diamonds and gold bars. Good luck, Darkwing. Where should we go now, DW? Let's start at the first level. Quackerjack and his henchmen are blocking the construction of the new bridge. You better stop them before someone gets hurt. Do you want to go there? Yes. Yeah, and he just crashes the plane because he's Launchpad. Should also be mentioned that you also have a block button. You just press up, and then you use your cowl, and it actually will block shots. But I am on an Xbox 360 gamepad, so oof, good luck to that. This game is a lot better. So much more better. So much better than the TurboGrafx 16 version. By leaps and bounds. I will say, while this is a better game, it's got some really aggravating sound effects. Also, it feels like a really kind of like easier Mega Man game, just because like you have the shooting, and then like you have the way it scrolls. Of course, there's the famous 4chan, I am the terror that faps in the night. All right. Close that out. Sorry, I had some weird stuff popping up. Okay. Yeah, it's like exactly like that guy is like kind of like one of the ones from Mega Man, except for he blocks even more. He's got less of a hitbox that he can really hit. It's like I'm trying to jump down when you hit jump and then it like pulls you back up. It's like, how do I get down here and hit this guy? What? Okay. Okay, so I finally figured it out. You jump, you press down and jump, then you have to hit down again. It's still super awkward. Okay, I have one bullet left, but it won't let me shoot. Oh man, that is tricky as hell. Especially like trying to do this on a like Xbox 360 D-pad is a nightmare. Oh boy. Let's try one more stage. It's something different. Wolf Duck and his henchmen are rampaging through the center of the city. Careful, Wolf Duck goes berserk when the moon comes out. Sure. I have a feeling I probably should have been on that. Yes, we know you're Darkwing Duck. Don't care. Your mother must be very proud. Wow, I'm terrible at this. Okay. Oh well. What's that? We have reached the end of the stream, so thank you for hanging out, everybody, especially for indulging me playing mostly terrible games, which is not really what I was planning to do tonight. It just kind of turned out that way. Most of the games that were tied in with television shows turned out to be bad, but definitely want to thank some people. Of course, thanks to Dimix for showing up there. Jay, T. Wallace, Ronnie, X-Ray. I think that's everybody. Hopefully I got here. But yeah, definitely want to thank everybody for showing up, and anybody lurking, of course, as well. Always cool to see everyone here. So I might be back tomorrow. I do not know. We'll have to see how things go to see how they play out, if I'll be streaming again. Usually I do stream at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know when that is, wherever you are in the world, just type actually just copy and paste exactly what I put into chat into Google, and it will tell you for where you are. You can also check me out on Twitter at Wursel555. You don't have to follow or anything, but I do post up there when I'm going to stream, what it will be, and if there's any type of delay or something, like if there's a computer problem or if my health is bad and I need to take the night off or whatever, I'll put up there as well if you feel like coming back and hanging out, so that way you're not wondering where in the world I'm at. You have some ideas there. So I have a little file kind of telling me like what I keep of ideas for like games to play, and I got a couple things here that I can possibly do, so I'll have to try to solidify it for next time. But till then, let's see who we got going through. PBH, Rift Tracks, Capcom, Unwary streaming. He's doing Ninja Gaiden 2, but let's do, as I mentioned them earlier, I think they're still on Car Ranger. Yeah, they are. Get some Super Sentai going. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out. Might see you tomorrow. Might be the day after. We will see. But, yeah, catch you guys next time.